Hey everybody, and welcome to Stock Abilities. In this Trade UI video guide, I'm going to be covering kind of a little bit of the insider and institutional trader transactions. A lot of people are probably like, whoa, I can't know that information, but it's public information. I'm not talking insider trading where the person had insider information. I'm talking someone simply selling or buying a portion of their position. Now that this doesn't necessarily mean bullish or bearish in any directional move, but the larger the sell or the larger the buy, it might create some fear and it might create some hype depending on that size of the order. And I'm going to show some quick examples of just how easy this is to do. So make sure to watch through the whole video to get the complete picture of what's going on here. Just a quick overview here. The SEC considers company directors, officials, or any individual with a stake of 10% or more in the company to be corporate insiders. Corporate insiders are required to report their insider transactions within 2 business days of the date of the transaction occurred. Pretty self-explanatory there. Not going to go into too many details here. I'm going to show you the Trade UI interface utilizing the insider information. And as you can see here, you can break it down by a variety of different things. I'd say one of the best ones to break it down with would be the sell transactions over the buy transactions. Buy transactions can happen at any given point, but a sell transaction, especially a larger transaction, can show a likelihood that someone's trying to trim their position. Maybe they see some weakness. Maybe they just wanted to close out. It's a little bit of a speculative scenario here, but I would go simply with the value of those particular shares and when they were sold. You can see some significant sells here with even one totaling over $1 million in value that they had sold out at a certain timestamp. And I'm going to go over all of these different examples here really quick, just through some basic Google charts. You don't need Thinkorswim or any other fancier charts, but I'd recommend using the Trade UI charts that you can check out through their platform here. But just for some quick examples here, CCY had some major sells this morning, and as you can see here, it took a little bit of a spike, but ultimately it ended the day on the red with a good bit of a dip. You had Wilk here, more sells, a bit of a dip again. The selling coming in here. You had a little bit of a dip once again with UFPI from the insider trading transactions there. Someone was selling, so it was kind of a rough day for the whole day on that particular ticker. TDG, one of the biggest ones with the $1 million worth of transactions here, and it basically trended down all day. It tried to pop a little bit there, but it ended up trending down some more as well. And just a quick reference here for a TDG being not just 1 million, my mistake, it was over $6 million in value of a sell. Kind of a bearish sign here, 1034. So we'll go to the timestamp here on 1034 and take a look here. 1034 is almost at not quite the peak of the day, but at $621 a share. And this is when that sell came in. And then right after we took a big dump, and then maybe a little bit of a hope here, hype, possibly a little bit of a mini short squeeze here of some people selling out. And then, of course, after closing up their shorts, and then it created a little bit of a squeeze, and then more of a downturn here, falling all the way down to almost 612. Then a little bit of a pop up, but then it continued down. And overall, from the point of which that sale occurred, it was down on the day. These are some quick examples here. How you want to filter it's really up to you. Obviously, you want to sort out the smaller value transactions, such as HDSN here, with only $942 in value. Kind of pointless on that one here. You want to go and pick out the larger sum value transactions. I would go with personally at least over $200,000 in that regard. Obviously, that's up to you. You can sort it by the value here, or you could sort it by pretty much anything you like. Obviously, the bigger the value, the better. Kind of shows you different other things that you can look for as well, including option exercises. As you can see here, a 1034 sale and an exercise right after. And then you can follow these different transactions. There's a lot of different filters that you can be utilizing throughout here and just as a quick reference for general transaction codes, And then you got transaction codes, Rule 16b. You got derivative securities codes, and then you got other section, exempt transaction, small acquisition codes. So if you wanted to see all of these different breakdowns, you can find them all in the TradeUI platform. Makes it pretty simple. You could sort it by a variety of different things that I covered in the beginning of this video. You can also search by the institutional title and the owner. So if you wanted to search, let's say for just the CEOs that are selling, you could sort it out pretty quickly here. You could sort it out by the trade type. There's buying, and then there's option exercises, and there's other different things here that you can sort it by. Really up to you. You can sort it by a particular date. And of course, you can sort by an individual ticker here soon as well. And then you can sort by different rows if you wanted to shrink it down there. And of course, one of the most important things that you'd want to sort it by is the timestamp. So if you're just watching it from the morning, or if, let's say you woke up a little bit late in the morning and you wanted to find a good particular ticker that might have had a large volume of sales, you can go and sort it by the timestamp, and you can dig through here and you can say, hey, well, this one only had 9,800, probably not worth my time to take a look at. But then you got one over here, $936,000. You got $554,000 worth of sales. Then you have these bigger ones here, and then you have an even bigger one here, utilizing it even more, that you can be just, all you got to really do, find the sales and then find the buys, and you can kind of balance it out with a little bit of common sense, a little bit of technicals, and you can find some potentially ideal plays. Now, obviously, this isn't a flawless strategy. A lot of these are set at more of an automated trade, or maybe they're selling based on what they feel is weakness, or what they feel is a good entry point for buys, or a good selling point for sells. So I'm sure to some degree they're using that without, thinking of it on an insider information basis, but they're using their own technicals and their own supports and resistance to come up with an ideal point of which they want to sell and an ideal point of which they'd like to buy. Sometimes it might just simply be a rebalancing. So make sure when you're doing this around, potential tax seasons and potential end of the year, that you're following using this general concept while you're making these kind of plays. Once again, quick examples, these were all insider sells, pretty heavy duty insider sells, and they all ended up crashing for the day. Some of them were already kind of down from the day at almost an immediate open right after the sells and never really recovered. Some of them made a little bit of a pullback up, but even UFP with the sell ended up crashing back down in the after hours again. One of the bigger ones here, this was the $6 million one, crashed all the way down to 613, bounced a little bit, but then continued that downward trend. If you want to check this out, check out TradeUI in the link below for some more information. And thanks, guys, for listening in. If you have any other video ideas that you want me to cover about TradeUI, or just general types of trading scenarios that you can be utilizing to benefit to make profit for yourself, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to cover as many as I can think to cover in this channel. And I appreciate you guys listening in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more videos just like this, and have a great day, guys.